So Donald Trump is ordering his subordinates to give him your money. And let me just show you what I mean. Scott Bessent has two jobs. He's simultaneously serving as both Trump's Treasury Secretary and as the acting commissioner of the IRS, both jobs. That's how they do it in the Trump administration. That means that when Trump sued the IRS and the Treasury last week for $10 billion, Trump was effectively asking Scott Bessent, his direct subordinate, to just give him that $10 billion. And today, Democratic Senator Ruben Gallego held Bessent's feet to the fire, asking him where exactly he would take that $10 billion from to give to Trump.
Where would that $10 billion come from?
It would come from...
Process-wise. I'm not asking, like, your opinion whether it's right or wrong.
It would come from Treasury.
It would come from Treasury, which comes from the general fund?
The Treasury general account.
So taxpayers?
Yes.
Thank you.
So taxpayers, that's right. It is your money. Trump wants $10 billion of your money. And he's just asking his subordinates to give it to him. I mean, today Scott Bessent passed the buck on this one to Attorney General Pam Bondi. There's a lot of bucks being passed to poor Pam Bondi, saying that because the Department of Justice would be the defendant here, this was really more of a question for her. Now, set aside that historically attorney generals have been expected to operate with some level of independence because Donald Trump shattered that norm quite some time ago. So it's fair to say that Bondi operates as Trump's direct subordinate, too. Trump is essentially her boss, or that's how he sees it. And he is telling her to pay him $10 billion of your money. And that's not just me saying that is the implication here. I mean, here's what Trump, in an interview with NBC News last night, said when he was asked explicitly if he was going to tell Bessent and Bondi to pay him.
You're going to tell them to pay you, though? You're the boss.
Well, what I would do, tell them to pay me, but I'll give 100% of the money to charity. I don't want any of the money.
What I would do is tell them to pay me. Thank you for saying it all out loud. So to hear Trump tell it, he is going to tell Scott Bessent and Pam Bondi to pay him $10 billion of your money. But you shouldn't worry about that because he is going to give all of that money to charity. Now, this is sort of a fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me sort of scenario. Because Donald Trump has been caught lying, saying he was going to donate to charity and then not so many times that our incredible producers had to pick and choose which instances to highlight here tonight, because there are too many. Let me just show you a few. When Trump launched his 2016 presidential campaign, he claimed he had given more than $102 million to charity in the previous 5 years. His campaign released a 93-page list detailing all of those donations. But there was one problem, a big one. Turns out not a single one of those donations was actually a personal gift of Trump's own money. The Washington Post, yes, that one, that was gutted just yesterday, dug into Trump's finances at the time and found that in the 15 years prior to running for office, Trump had publicly promised to donate more than $8.5 million to one charity or another. The reality was that he had only donated about $2.8 million, and all through his personal charity, the Trump Foundation. You know, the foundation he ultimately had to dissolve and pay a $2 million settlement over because he had misused the funds. Doing things like buying not one, not two, but 3 portraits of himself with foundation money. Who doesn't need 3? Or using the charity's money to buy himself a signed Tim Tebow football helmet. Or the time he used the foundation money to make a donation to then Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi. While Pam Bondi was actively considering whether to investigate fraud allegations into Trump University. I should note, she ultimately decided not to pursue that case. And again, she is now the person Trump is asking to give him $10 billion of your money. But hey, if you don't trust that Trump will actually give that money to charity, last night he laid out a whole new justification for why he should have your money.
$30 trillion debt, and we're going to take $10 billion out of the system?
Well, I mean, you give it away anyway. They give away a lot of money.
Your endorsement.
I'll tell you what, speaking about that, Minnesota and these other states, we have massive investigations going into fraud. Yeah. Do you know if we captured 50% of the fraud of this country right now, we would have better than a balanced budget?
Don't worry about Trump taking that $10 billion. They're going to make up for it by catching so many fraudsters and balance the budget, too. That's what he said. That's the new line of logic here. Well, get this. Yesterday, government exec reported that the IRS has started pulling people from HR to process tax returns because Trump got rid of more than 20% of the IRS's staff last year. And that does not sound like an agency that is going to catch a lot of fraud. Sounds like one that will miss a lot of fraud. And then there's the specific case Trump mentioned, the fraud investigation in Minnesota. Well, the Trump administration has said that that fraud investigation is the reason they surged federal immigration agents in Minnesota to begin with. This week, we got the news that the 4 prosecutors who led that fraud case for the Minnesota U.S. Attorney's Office, they all quit. Part of a wave of resignations that has followed the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. Sources inside the U.S. Attorney's Office told CBS News this week that the departures have left the office with as few as 17 assistant U.S. attorneys, down from 70. And the Trump administration immigration crackdown isn't just making prosecutors leave. It is also overwhelming the prosecutors who stay with work. Last week, the top prosecutor in Minnesota, the Trump-appointed U.S. Attorney Daniel Rosen, said in a court filing that his short-staffed office has been abandoning pressing and important priorities to manage the flood of immigration cases they are getting. That does not sound like an office that is going to catch a lot of fraud. So Trump is saying all his money will go to charity. He's saying he will stop so much fraud you won't even notice this money disappearing. He's telling you not to worry about how he is trying to pocket $10 billion of your money. To state the obvious, don't listen to him. He's kind of a fraudster.